welcome to another episode of Waste Management. Today, again, we're doing something I've been wanting to do for a while. We're going to be talking about physical fitness. In the past, we've been talking about nutrition. We've been talking about actually raising a vegetable and actually talking about the nutritional value and the health benefits. Now we're actually going to get out and actually do something. So we're actually going to break this up into two shows. One show we're going to do on weight training. The other show we're going to do on cardiovascular training. We'll start with weight training today, and then we'll come back for the cardio later on. For weight training, we're going to talk about free weights versus machines versus cable, and hopefully when we get to the gym, you'll be able to see what's going on. Okay, so guest, please introduce yourself.
Noemi Zaharia, I'm the director of the Aquatic and Fitness Center here at North Campus.
Okay, terrific. So if you're the director, you must know about this kind of stuff.
Yes, I'm also a certified personal trainer.
Before I even get started, is it necessary to warm up? And what is weight training, first of all?
Well, which one do you start with, warm up or?
Well, I want to know what weight training is.
Well, weight training is really using weights, not just your own body weight, to increase the muscle mass or at least maintain the muscle mass and being able to keep your at the healthiest point of your life as much as possible.
Does a person have to go to a gym to do this?
No.
So
no.
How do they do this without a gym?
Well, without the gym is really being creative. You can get creative at home with some household items like water bottles, or you can have your little weights at home too. That's something you can do. But water bottles, any kind of canned food, something like that, going something lighter. If you want something heavier, get the milk jug, the gallon, and
okay,
those
so
kind
when
of
we go to the gym, I know we're going to show people using dumbbells, barbells.
Yes.
But instead of that, if a person doesn't have this, they still want to exercise at home, they can do it using water bottles.
Exactly. You need a little bit of weight, a little bit of something that you feel that you actually, when you're moving, is not just your own body.
Okay, since we're talking about weight also, my mind's just popping around here. High repetitions versus low repetition and heavy weight. What's the benefit of both?
All right, well, there are two, depending on what you're training for, you're going to do high repetitions with medium to light weight, or you're going to do few repetitions with very heavy weight. Now, us ladies will like more the long, lean muscle, something to last that longer, and especially as we get better with age, we want to keep our tone muscle going. So for that, you need higher repetitions with light weight. So you're not putting a lot of strain on the tendons, on your joints, things like that. It's something that, but it gives you a very nice definition. Mm-hmm. That you're able to wear your nice sleeveless dresses and all that. You really have a nice definition going on your arms, legs, whichever body part you want to use.
The Michelle Obama look.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So you look very healthy, very strong, without being very muscular. And mm-hmm. I know a lot of ladies are very scared of that word of being fit. But their understanding of fit is like being big and muscular, mm-hmm. and that's not it, and you can be extremely healthy and strong and beautiful by keeping those long, lean muscles.
So you're saying men should do heavy?
Not necessarily. Again, depending what you want for. If you're just going for general health, I think a nice combination of the two is the best. My philosophy is really doing the combination. You want to do certain days when you do really working on the high reps, lighter weight, and then only have certain days or certain repetitions when you go heavy. Because if you go only heavy weight, you're putting too much strain on the muscle, and eventually something's going to mm-hmm. give. And you don't want to get in, and it's usually injury comes into play.
Okay, so heavy is for bulk and light is for definition.
Correct. But we need to start with warming up. You asked me about that.
Yeah, I know, but
well, we need to warm up. The answer to that question is we do need to warm up.
Oh, okay.
And it's very important.
What can a person do to warm up?
Well, I'm a big fan of stretching before and after workout. But mm-hmm. again, you have to be careful how you stretch. You don't want to go overboard because if your muscles are cold, this is when things can happen. Again, you can injure yourself from a simple stretch. So doing a light little cardio, you can start your light little cardio that I know we're going to talk more in next time we meet. But it's really about getting some nice cardio going, get your heart warmed up, the muscles mm-hmm. overall. Do a good stretch, especially depending on the body parts you're going to focus on more for that weight training. and then go from there, getting into your workout. So don't go, if you're coming in and you want to work on bulking up, don't go for a maximum bench press because you're really going to get hurt. Start with something to really muscles to warm up, wake up. Just like in the morning, you wake up, you kind of need your coffee to really be awake, ready to go. Same, your body, your muscles need that wake-up call. Hey, I'm ready to start working out before you get into that serious workout.
Okay, let's do the dysnomer beforehand. Do I need to see a doctor before I start working out?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know. I know. Well, the reason why you have to see a doctor is because depending when was the last time you had a physical, okay? Not everybody's good about getting a physical every year. And even between year and year, something can happen. But the doctor can also encourage you to either start working out more. I'm hearing more and more people say, oh, I went to my doctor's telling me I need to start working out. And that's a great way to, not just to lose weight. A lot of people think I need to work out to lose weight. It's not about losing weight. It's about being healthy. Because if you start having the healthier lifestyle, you start working out, you're going to watch what you eat, and vice versa. And guess what? You get off certain medications, you're going to be able, and most importantly, you're going to feel better. You're just going to have, that spring in your step, ready to go, feel great about it. Now, also, the other side of it, if you have any kind of medical condition and a doctor limits your workout and says, I want you to only get your heart rate up to a certain level, don't pass that, you need to watch it because obviously it's a condition that can trigger something else. So just know your limits and know where you are. And guess what? Next time you're going to go back see the doctor, I'm sure it's going to give you great news if you've been sticking to all what he's asked you to do.
I have a question for you, which I've been told, and I don't know the answer to. Hopefully you do. With cardio, for the heart versus weight training, I don't know, watching the news or something, they said that weight training is actually better than cardio because weight training lasts a longer period of time, but you have big muscles and it takes more energy to maintain the muscle. Then cardio is just you get the up and the down. Yes,
well,
no?
It depends on a cardio because cardio depends what you're doing. Remember, you have to do minimum 20 minutes of cardio to have any effect.
Okay.
Okay, so after 20 minutes, you start feeling the effects of it. So if you do only 20 minutes, you're not getting much out of it.
Okay.
Now, if you do it 3 times a week, the 20 minutes, and you maybe get that little extra speed into your step, it's still better than doing absolutely nothing.
But if a person sprints for 20 minutes...
Well, you can't sprint for 20 minutes.
Okay, run real fast.
Well, first you have to start running to a certain pace, and then you start sprinting. If you want to get more out of that, we're going to talk more about that cardio. I know we talked about...
So a 5K run is nothing.
5K run, it's not nothing because you're working different things. Remember, when you do cardio, really work your heart, your lungs, your liver, everything works really well. For the strength training, you're focusing more on the muscle. So cardio-wise is not as intense unless you're doing interval training. Interval training is the one that you do number of repetitions with a very controlled rest. For example, you do a minute on one of the machines, you have 30 seconds off, you go on to the next machine, and you go on and go on and go on, and you have minimum 10 to 12 machines. That's interval training. And because you see, you're already in a cardio because you don't give your body too much time for the heart rate to go down. So keep it at an elevated mode.
So it's a combo of the two.
Correct.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes. So the best thing you can do is really do a combination of the two because you really need both to keep yourself healthy. Plus, it gives you a nice variety. You don't want to kind of get stuck with one thing.
So getting back with weight training, we can do free weights, we can do dumbbells, free weights or barbells.
Yes.
We can do cables, we can do machines.
Yes.
What
Well,
benefits?
they all serve their own purpose, okay?
Please tell us.
So the machine, let's start with the machines, okay? A lot of people know the machine. I go there, I have my little instruction on the side of the machine, I sit down and I do whatever I need to do. It's great because it really, it isolates that particular muscle group that you want to work on, and it gives you clear instructions, and it's easier to follow the right movement.
Is it any safer than free weights?
It's a little bit safer just because, again, it's in a controlled environment, and the only movement you're allowed to do is one the machine allows you to do.
Okay.
Okay. Now, and again, a lot of people feel more comfortable with that because you're kind of just right there at the machine. You're not out there in the world, kind of everybody to see you, right? Cables are a little more complicated because you're working with, usually it's sprung either down. You work your triceps, your biceps, or you actually have your lats working out. You pull down a cable, which of course you put the different type of weight that you put on. So you have to control that as well for a little bit of balance. Not much, but it gives you a little more freedom compared to the actual strict machine. okay? And the next step over, you really go to the dumbbells, free weights that you have, which really have to work with your, to stabilize the right position, okay? So in order to keep your balance, you have to be in a, put your legs apart properly, and you really have to balance that weight. So that gives you extra workout by being able to do that. So that's actually
the best.
It's the hardest. It's the hardest.
But you said but it gets all the little muscles.
Well, you get the little ones going as well, correct. But again, not everybody's comfortable. If somebody is not as comfortable standing up, or they have maybe some balance issues or something that they're not as comfortable, this is where they're going to feel like, I really want to go there. That's why they like more of the machines or something a little more controlled.
Well, how about you could use a bench?
But you have the bench, exactly. What I'm saying.
But it's still free weights.
Correct. So this is where it's really having somebody walking you through when you come for the first time is so important, because you have to find your limits. You have to see what you're comfortable with and how far you can venture, and and periodically do a little check and say, what more I can do, what's something different I want to do. And that kind of leads me into that whole idea. You have to vary what you do. You really cannot. One, you're going to get bored if you do the same workout. Even if you vary the upper body, the lower body, and core, at one point you're going to get bored if you do the same thing. So throwing in some new exercises, something different, it's so beneficial, and it really gives you a nice rounded workout and keeps you interested, because at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Is it a good idea to have a partner?
I think it's a fantastic idea to have a partner. Because one, it keeps you accountable. So if you guys set up, say, okay, we're going to go tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, you know that that person's going to be there. I can't let them down. So it kind of makes you go, and you really go there. Once you're there.
How about that versus a personal trainer?
Well, a friend, it's very apples and oranges. A friend is also, again, kind of gets you there, and also you can talk about a lot of different things. It kind of keeps, it's a lighter atmosphere. If you have a personal trainer, you get the benefit of somebody actually being, trained, so they know exactly how to do it and how to get you better step by step, but it's maybe not as familiar, comfortable situation. It just really depends. You have to form those relationships, and most importantly, you have to know yourself.
So you could start with a personal trainer, then go to a friend, or?
It depends on who you. If
you know what you're doing.
If you know what you're doing, it's always good to get an idea, but get some guidance and say, okay, this is what my. Most importantly, you have to know what you want out of the workout. Okay, are you there to lose weight? Are you there to get a little extra definition? Are you there to prepare for a competition? What are you there for? And then that sets your goal. So based on that, you kind of look for what are the alternatives, what are my options in order to achieve my goal.
So in the gym, you should be able to show us these different
Absolutely, absolutely. We have all different kinds of machines, everything we talked about at the Aquatic and Fitness Center here at North. And then we can show the different exercises, and we definitely have students there, which I'm sure they'll be eager to show us how to use different machines and their interpretation of what they like to do.
So in summary, what you said, basically, workout partner's good.
Always, yes.
Get a checkup before you start. Always stretch, warm up before you start.
And stretch after.
Okay, and stretch after. Okay, great. So we'll head out to the gym, and hopefully you'll be able to demonstrate all the different equipment, and you'll be able to show us what to do, what's right, and what's wrong. That's what I do. What's
all right,
wrong.
Let's do it.
Okay, then let's head out. Okay, so here we are back in the gym again.
Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, we're going to talk about today weight training. This is actually to build big muscles. I see here you have equipment, free weights, dumbbell.
Yeah, we have the different kind of equipment, whatever works for you better. You can have the actually strength machines, which works specifically a certain muscle group that you want to be working specifically. Also, you have the free weights. which is like the benches and all that kind of, you can squats that you can do. And of course we have the dumbbells, which gives you a wide range of workouts you can do as well.
Okay, again, for the person just starting, machines probably a good starting place?
Machines might be a good starting place just because each machine has a little plate with that with the pictures of how it's supposed to use it, the muscle group that is being used, and then to really be able to see what you're actually working on, and it's less chances for you to getting hurt or doing it incorrectly, which is obviously what happens when you're going to get hurt if you don't do it correctly.
Okay, or you could also use free weights.
Yes, the free weights, absolutely, the different free weights.
Okay, since we're here and he's getting ready to get started, what's he doing?
He's actually going to do some squats, but without actual machine. We have some other machines that actually can mimic the squats, but this one, by doing with the barbell in the back and the weights, he has to control his balance, which puts in not just his legs, but also his core to stabilize. His arms muscles are working to also keep the weight in a stable position so he doesn't get hurt. That's cage areas, you can call it that. It really gives them the nice place of being safer. And then a platform, of course, keeps it safe for him to be able to do the weight that he needs to do.
I see when he was squatting, how far should a person squat?
The different thoughts of how to go about it, the safest way, which I always recommend, is don't bend too much, don't bend over 90 degrees of your knees, because this is where you're going to put too much pressure on the ligaments of your knees, so that's when you can get injured.
I've seen some people put a bench there, like
yes.
so.
Yeah, a great way, especially if you're a beginner, to kind of put a bench or a chair behind you, so you're literally mimicking sitting down on a chair and getting up. That keeps the good form as well.
Okay, so you go down. So you go down till you reach the height, the chair level, then back up.
Correct. So you're not sitting, actually completely sitting down. You're touching it so you know you got to the right level, and then you stand up again. The key is to really do the same speed up and down. A lot of people just kind of go they go quickly down because they're pushed down by the weight, and then they take forever to come up. If you want to get a great workout, remember you're doing both sides of the movement, up and down. That's when the muscle really gets developed nicely.
Okay, so when doing this, what order should a person do? I see there's a lot of equipment here, a lot of different things you can do. Should you start with squats, end with squats, or?
Again, in the last time you guys were here, we were talking about cardio, and I want to reiterate the importance of cardio in the sense of warming up. So don't ever start doing weights, especially heavy weights, unless you're warmed up. A great way of warming up is doing a little bit of cardio. Mix it up a little bit, muscles dynamically warm up, they're ready to go, and then hop on a machine, but again, just like you did in a cardio, starting slowly. In a machine, same way, start with a lighter weight and build it up a little bit. Don't go straight to the heaviest max bench press or something like that, because your muscles are cold. This is when things can snap and get hurt. Always want to start when you do bench press to start with a nice regular bench, which as you can see, it's nice and level. And then always have a spotter. Exactly as you see, you want somebody there just to spot you to make sure if, in case you, as you try to stabilize the bar, if something happens, to be there for you so the weight doesn't fall on you and hurt you.
My standard question again, see how far he goes down.
Yes.
Should he go to the chest or?
Ideally, you want to go all the way down to the chest, almost touching, and then completely out, but don't ever completely block your elbows.
Okay.
To have it. So you want to be in constant movement, and again, as we did for the squats, you want the same speed going down as you go up. And this way you work both sides of the muscle really well.
Okay, I noticed we do have other bench press machines. There's different angles or so.
Yes, well, we have the incline and decline also for the benches that you can sit up and you can sit down depending on how the bench is angled. Again, doing the bench press, but that's going to work different angles of your chest and shoulders. And this is a nice complement. So if you do the bench press, definitely go through all three stations because that's going to give you a nice rounded workout for your chest and shoulders.
Okay, you mentioned shoulders. What specifically can we do for shoulder?
Well, he's definitely working on his shoulders again and also his chest. So this is a great exercise to really, again, round up the shoulders and tie it into your pec muscles to really kind of get a great workout.
And he's also using dumbbells, which
exactly,
we
which
seen.
Again, for some people that feel they don't maybe feel a little intimidated by the bar, to sit, to lay down and actually do the bench press. You're able to just get the weights that you control, and then you're able to do with dumbbells a little bit better.
Why don't we move on to bicep, tricep?
You can do it just freely like this, standing up, and you just isolate your biceps, and you really work them that way.
For further isolation, can we use a
For
machine?
the isolation, you can actually sit down over there and then isolate and then just do it that way. Again, you can do it with dumbbells, or you can get one of the bars in the back right behind him, as you can see. And then you can do it that way as well. So there are many different ways, completely isolating your biceps and working it towards the shoulder, getting stronger.
Okay, how about tricep?
This is a tricep. This is where you isolate the tricep muscle. You really want to use the bench this way for nice balance, and then completely isolating the tricep. Again, it's good to work the bicep and the tricep in the same day to work out all the muscles.
And I see the nice thing about this is you can always go with a heavier dumbbell.
Well, you can go to easier, harder, whatever works better for you. Again, slowly building up to the heavier weight.
Okay, so far we've done legs, chest, tricep, bicep. How about back?
Well, backs you can always do, as you can see here, they're working on still shoulders, back, but also works the chest. So it's a really nice all-around machine that you can do the pull downs. Depending how you hold the bar for the pull down, again, you can isolate triceps very well on this one. You can work mostly your back. Again, depending on how you hold the bar, it really isolates better. And again, you control the weight.
So that's like a modified pull-up, let's say.
It's a modified pull-up, but again, you're pulling up a certain amount of weight, not your own weight.
Are you better off holding your arms closer in or further apart?
Again, depending on what you're working on, because if you go further apart you go, the more the back works. Closer you are, more the front, the chest area works.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Wonderful.
So, and also you can do the row exercise right over here that works your chest, your chest, your back, your core, and also your shoulders. So,
Okay.
and that's exactly the way you want to do it, really control the movement, everything that you do. But it's a fantastic, more all-around workout for your upper body, that particular
Okay,
exercise.
it looks similar to rowing.
That's why it's called a row.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a row, yes.
There you go. Wonderful. Okay, so great. So we did that. How about some of the machines? Can we look at those?
Absolutely.
Okay, I see he's working here legs, correct?
Yeah, he's doing leg extensions, which goes from the 90 degree to up to 180. So you're really isolating one leg at a time, really working on one leg at a time, which is really a lot more, especially the one, for example, we all have our favorite side. You're stronger right arm, left arm. The right-handed, left-handed, depending how it is. Same goes for legs. So if you need to work harder, maybe rehab-wise, or just straightening more one leg compared to the other, that's a great way of doing it.
So what he's doing, that works the thigh, I
Thighs,
assume?
absolutely, yes.
Front, back, or the whole thing?
Well, it's really mostly the front, the big thigh muscles. Really, that's the one that you work on. But the whole leg works. I mean, let's face it.
So to work the back, you'd have to, I suppose, be on your stomach and...
Yes, we have some of the other machines that we have that you can actually use the different leg extensions that you can have on different positions. Again, just like we had for the benches, the different positions you're at, you work the different side of your arms. We have the different positions you work your legs as well.
So basically what I'm saying, the machines isolate specific
Machines
parts.
isolate. Anytime you use the free weights or the dumbbells, you work more, not than just that one muscle, unless you, like what we saw with the bicep or tricep, you're just isolating that particular one. Every time you stand up, you have to work on a balance, which means your core is engaged. So you really work a lot more muscles and maybe a little tendons. So the best way to know it is when you haven't worked out in a while, you do one of these workouts, you're gonna feel certain muscles you never knew you had.
Okay. So doing an entire leg, so a squat would basically get the whole leg.
Well, the squat is basically getting your whole leg, but you really also need to, for example, you see he's doing the leg press. That's a different, kind of a reverse way of doing the squat, but it's protecting your back. So if you have, again, some back problems and you want to go for heavy weight as he does, you want to isolate it this way. It will be quite dangerous for him to put the bar on his back and do this kind of squat.
Well, what I see about it, a person doing a squat, though, I would say starting, you're much better off starting there than here, starting on a machine.
True. Yes, you definitely want to start there. Again, that's more isolating, more under control. You're in control of your movements. The weight cannot come on you over there. Here, again, you have to be a lot more experienced, and you're engaging a lot more muscles into the movement than you would over there.
Okay, so basically in here we do have a wide selection of things you can do. A person can either use dumbbells, barbells, cables, machines.
Yes, and you have the little bars as well. That's one thing I wanted to point out for people that are maybe not, or kind of not as familiar or so scared of the big bars that we have for the benches. We have the smaller ones that you can really do some exercises on your own, kind of build again up the whole stamina and everything that you do to get you in shape.
Also, I've noticed some people when they exercise, like they'll start with a heavy weight and then go lighter, lighter, lighter.
Well, it depends. There's so many different ways depending on what you're training for. If you're going for a big muscle to build huge muscle, you have to go heavy. Okay. But if you're going for something endurance, if you're looking for the long, lean muscle, then you really need to do the lighter weight, but more reps.
Well, your background is swimming. You were going for endurance?
Well, for me, for swimming specifically, you need to work all the muscles in your body, and you need to be nice and lean. You don't need any bulkiness. So for us, it was a combination of some heavy weights, but we never went super heavy. So it's really about doing like a medium weight, but a lot of repetitions.
Okay. So basically with the gym, if a person has not come, it pays them to just even come and check it out, try. There's something here for anyone.
It is definitely something here for everyone, and as I mentioned, first time you guys came by, we have a sample workouts that you can follow. We wrote it out for you. If you want to do circuit training, which means going to the machines, we have that. If you want to do a true beginner, to have a beginning workout, a medium workout, an advanced workout. If you want more cardio, we have that. If you want dumbbell workout, we have that. We have upper body, lower body, core. So you really can pick from a lot of different things if you need that little help. And of course, our staff is always available to guide you a little bit through how to do things correctly.
So we do all that here. So any gym, if a person is not a Miami-Dade college affiliate, any gym should supply the same facilities, I assume.
Well, every gym should be doing that, but here at the college, we're really focused on our students because a lot of our students have no maybe prior knowledge of how to work out. So I think it's our job to educate them, to educate their mind in the classroom, for us to educate them about their health and their fitness. The HLP classes that are available, the health and wellness classes, are a great source for somebody to get into working out and why they do it and why it works. I think it's a fantastic class. But also for faculty and staff that you have busy lives, so you want to kind of get somebody healthy. And then on the same breath, you have all the machines, but we also have the free classes that we offer with your membership. So if you want to start out with that, which is a lot of, we have Zumba, Pilates, different classes that we offer. Nice. So it's a nice, again, variation. One of the things I mentioned to you before is not getting bored, because I think a lot of people kind of get into a routine and they feel like, okay, what else? So if you have a nice variety, then you're able to do a lot of different things to keep it fun.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed our little stay here, our little trip to the gym. If you notice, there's something here for everyone. Come to start, there's starting. We showed from simpler to more complex. Free weights, cables, barbells, dumbbells, smaller weights, you name it. There's something for everyone. There's no excuse for you not to get into the gym, not to start doing something.
Absolutely. And again, remember, it's a nice way of also relieving stress. So as midterms, finals come around for students, same as for faculty, all the staff, that it's really kind of engaged in our busy lives. Taking 30 minutes, a couple of 2-3 times a week for yourself, it's wonderful and really enhances your health. And if you're healthy, you can do anything.
Okay, well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the gym.